So good afternoon, everyone. We're dealing with unit number 4, which is ethics in engineering and how ethics can be used. Okay, so let me share the screen for today's session. Since the beginning of this unit, we have been discussing that professionals or professional people not only have duties, but they also have to bear through responsibilities. So how are we going to see this fine balance of having professional people who are responsible and corporations or organizations that are ethical? That is what we will deal with in this topic. Okay. What are this ethics, professional ethics? They are actually a set of standards that are used for making decisions in the workplace. Now remember, every workplace will have its own way of doing things, its own rules and regulations, but there are certain rules and regulations that are common across the board. Why do we need such set of rules and regulations? We need such set of rules and regulations so that it prevents professionals from taking advantage of other people. Moreover, when there are rules, people will work according to the rules that are there, and thus it will bring trust and bring respect to the people. When you have trust and respect, it will move forward and give you a vast and diverse option of opportunities. Usually, as I said, in the same profession, the set of rules that are made would be more or less similar. Though their values may be unique, but they would be similar in one or other case. Now, let's see one professional ethic that has been set by the National Society of Professional Engineers, NSPE. Right, please remember the acronym as well as the full form. Mark this is important from the exam point of view for MCQ. NSPE. This is the highest rule or the biggest rule for engineering professionals. So engineers, in the fulfillment of their professional duties, shall hold paramount the safety, the health and welfare of the public. In fulfillment of the professional duties, whatever kind of professional duties that the engineers are supposed to fulfill, they're supposed to look, when they say hold paramount, that is of utmost importance, things which are very, very, very important, that you cannot disregard. So paramount means of the highest importance. You have to hold highest the importance of the safety, not only safety but also the health and also the welfare of the public. These are the things that you as an engineer or anybody as an engineering professional should look into. This is one of the most accepted and the greatest rule, the first rule of, or a first rule that the engineer or an engineering professional should follow. Now, if you look at the fundamental canons of the code of conduct, please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. The fundamental canons of the code of conduct by ABET, that is the Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. This ABET, you're supposed to mark it as important from the exam point of view in the MCQ type, where you may be asked a full form and you need to know the full form. All right. So what are the rules that they have given for engineers? As I said, the very first rule is to hold paramount the safety, the health and welfare of the people or the public. Sorry. Next, perform services only in their areas of competence. Remember, if you are a civil engineer, yes, I agree that in the initial years of engineering or the initial semesters of engineering, you have been taught a variety of things from various branches, but you know the fundamentals, you don't know what would go in deep relations. So as a civil engineer, you should never attempt to do something which a mechanical engineer would do, right? Why? Because yes, you do have the knowledge, but you are not specialized in it. Okay, you do have the knowledge, You do have the knowledge, but you are not specialized in it. Remember that. Okay. That's why they say only in the area of their competence, only in the area of your competence, only in the area of your specialization is where you should work and where you should take out your expertise, or it's the place where you should help. Okay. Next, issue public statements only in an objective and truthful manner. See, you as an engineer would be given opportunities to devise things, to manufacture things, to have new things coming into line for the public to use, etc. But you should, when you are, remember, when you are giving a public statement, it's a big thing, right? It's a big thing that when you give a public statement. So what should you do? You should take care that you issue the public statement, or whatever public statement you are giving, you should give it in such a way that it is objective. It does not see only your profit but also the profit of the public at large, and also look into it that it is honest. Okay, you should look into that part as being honest. When I say honest, here we mean to say that things that the audience should know or the people should know, things said in a truthful manner, things that should be worked out as if it has been done for yourself. The way you would not lie to yourself, you should not lie to the public. Next, act for each employer or client as faithful agents or trustees. Remember, you are supposed to act for everybody as if they are your utmost important customer. All right. Next, avoid deceptive acts, avoid being deceptive, avoid telling lies, avoid involving in acts that are not considered properly. Conduct yourself honorably, responsibly, ethically, and lawfully so that you can enhance the honor, the reputation, and the usefulness of your profession. Bear in mind, you are supposed to use your profession for the benefit of not only yourself but also for the benefit of the society at large. Okay, not only yourself but also the benefit of the society at large. Right, so you need to be very careful that whatever work you are doing, you do it in a way which gives you honor, right? Which gives you honor. You are not supposed to do something which will bring disgrace. You are not supposed to do things which bring disgrace. You're supposed to do things that bring honor to you as well as your profession. All right, to you as well as your profession. Please mark this. This is a very important question. If you have not marked it, mark it as an important question from the exam point of view. Now, there are a few universal ethical principles. Now, what do we mean by universal ethical principles? We mean to say these are the principles which would work for any profession. Be it engineering, be it management, be it teaching, any profession. Okay? Be it any profession. Universal principles mean across the board, these are the principles that are to be followed and that would be followed, and that would be followed at any case. So which are some of the universal principles that we have? A few of the universal principles are mentioned over here, like honesty, you should be honest. Trustworthiness, that is, you should generate trust in the mind of the audience or your customers. Adherence to law, see to it that you practice law, you follow the rules and regulations that are there. Everybody does that, right? Yes, sometimes people would find a loophole into it, that's a different story, but try to follow the law as much as possible. Doing good in the sense doing good for yourself as well as for the society in which you are living. By society, we mean to say over here the human race or the human civilization. Okay, this is a civilization that gave you the opportunity to get yourself educated, right? So at times, the society demands that you should pay back the society by doing good. Okay, the engineers are people who are going to make the society a better place to live. Please remember, by society over here, we mean the civilization in which we live and not in the housing society where you live. Okay, not only that place, but also each and every place, trying to make the world a better place is what we mean over here. Avoiding harm, try to avoid, as I said, everything cannot be done 100%. There will always be something, even if you see the advertisement of hand washes, they'll say that it is going to kill 99.9%. So we are trying to tell you over here, it's okay, sometimes certain things happen, but try and avoid causing harm. Next, accountability. Accountability is where people would account for you. Oh, this company, oh, you blindly you can work with this company, very good, good reputation. Okay, being accountable. Then respect for others. You will gain respect only if you give respect. Okay, that's the way things work. You gain respect only if you give respect. So respect others so that you can generate respect for yourself. These are certain universal ethical principles. So this unit, as I have been telling since the beginning of this unit, that in this unit we will not be having reconnecting questions which say where you have to give a yes and no, or you have to choose an option. This is a little more practical based unit. So why do you think it is necessary to have ethical principles? What if the principles are not there? Right, I'm giving you 5 minutes to think about it, and you can type your answers in the chat box. got few very nice answers on why do you think ethical principles are important, and all of you, whatever you are saying is quite correct. Now, ethical corporations, not only responsible individuals. Remember, we have been talking about an individual can do a task, but when you have to achieve success, you need a group of people. So you need corporations, not only corporations and organizations, but corporation and organizations that are quite ethical. Right? They work according to the rules and regulations. So it is actually the moral responsibility of organizations towards society. Because remember, in the society that has given us the opportunities to become better as a person, we should return it back in some way. Moreover, a society, why is it important? Your business runs. Your business runs based on the society. Why? Because if there are no customers, what will you do? What will you do of all the products that you buy? What will you do of all the products? Who will buy all the products that you produce? Right? So look into things in that way. That is why for corporations it is important to do such things, or it is important for them to remain ethical. Right? Everything that is available in the society, all the resources that are required are available in the society. All the resources are there for you to utilize, whether it is human resources or any kind of materials that you require, society is going to provide. Now, in that case, to make society or civilization a place to live or a better place to live, we need to maintain law and order. We need to maintain marketing and advertisement, and we also need to have purchasing going on. Why is it important to have ethical corporations? Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. It is important to have ethical corporations, and these are the reasons for it. The very first reason is it will generate a goodwill in the market. When you want your business run on a smooth track, you need to generate a good goodwill in the market. You need to generate a good name for yourself in the market. You have to develop. You need to develop good relationships, public relationships with people. By people, we mean to say good relationships with the society, right? Not only people, but also with different organizations. Next, ethical corporations are required to survive a business. Anybody who starts a business wants to survive for a few years down the line. You don't want to just be there for 1 or 2 years or 2 months. You want to go for a long time. In the market, right? So if you are ethical, people will come to you. Remember, when your mom buys certain products, she would buy it from a certain shop, right? Why would she buy it from a certain shop? She would buy it from a certain shop by saying, we've been buying it from generations from this shop. They're very nice, very good, very trustworthy, right? Next, it shields employees and shareholders. What do I mean when I say shielding? See, shareholders and employees have a very important role in the business. They do not be in the business just as a part of it, but they are an inevitable part of the business. Why are they an inevitable part of the business? They are inevitable part of the business because without employees and shareholders, business can never move forward, right? So it is a give and take thing. They help the business to grow, so you should, as a ethical corporation, help the employees and the shareholders to sustain. Next, for the smooth functioning of the organization, if ethical codes are maintained, nobody will feel cheated, nobody will feel as if their benefit has been taken from them and they don't have benefits for themselves. Next, it prevents malpractices. Right? When you have certain rules, you don't do any kind of malpractice, or you do not do any kind of unfair things. Next, customers satisfaction and reliance. How will you develop without the customer? As I said, without the customer, it is the business is of no use, right? Because why? Because if the customer is not there, who is going to buy the beautiful products that you are producing or the great innovations that you are making? To generate the customers satisfaction, you should be delivering them quality products throughout the whole thing. Next, it generates employment. When it generates employment, if there are good organizations, people would, every one of us wants to work with a good organization, an ethical organization where things are all in order. We don't want to go into an environment which is chaotic. We want to go into an environment that is peaceful, which is creative, right? So if there are ethical cooperation, it would also give great opportunity for employment. So can you identify a corporation that you believe follows ethical principles? You may type your answers in the chat box. Here I'm trying to ask you to name a few organizations, companies that you feel follow ethical principles. If you can name a few, so that after that we can move ahead. Fine, let us move ahead with it. Okay, with this comes to an end. Do we have any questions or queries? If not, then we can move on to our quiz section. So there you go. This is the link for the quiz for today's session. You may start attempting your quiz now. Excellent. I can see everybody has completed the quiz. We'll now take the attendance for the day. So 18 series 14, 19 series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes.
7, 8, 9, 10,
Ma'am,
11.
9999.
Yes, 9, 11, 12,
Yes, ma'am.
13,
Yes, ma'am.
Hello,
14.
ma'am.
just a minute.
Hello, ma'am. 14.
Yes, 14.
7 also, ma'am. 7.
Yeah,
Yes,
just
ma'am. Yes.
let me just move ahead so that then we can go back again. Don't worry. 14,
Yes, ma'am.
15,
Yes, ma'am.
16,
Yes, ma'am.
17,
Present.
18,
17, ma'am.
19,
Present,
21.
ma'am.
19 is present.
Yes, ma'am.
Why were you absent for so long a time?
Fine, ma'am, but network issue.
18 or 19?
19, ma'am.
Your name shows Shamshad Alam,
Yes, ma'am.
and I'm talking about Muhammad Arif.
Okay.
21, 22, and 23.
Yes, ma'am. 21.
Yeah, let me just call out
Ma'am,
the
I'm present.
yeah.
18, zero.
Let me call out the absent number so it's easier for you. I can see the names, that's why I'm asking. Okay. So 19 series enrollment number 1 is absent. Enrollment number 6 is absent. And then enrollment number 19. These are the 3 people who are absent. All right. Madam has marked you correctly. Great. Fine. So we'll complete this on this note. I hope you have all now on the completion of your Coursera course. Remember, there was a Coursera course that you need to do. Kindly upload the certificates in the shared folder. You will find a folder which says certificates. Kindly upload the certificates there by the 25th of this month. Kindly complete that work. Right. Thank you, class. We'll call it a day over here. Thank you. Have a nice day.